Hello guys, what is going on? My name's Krusty, but as always, and just a quick forewarning, this is going to be a short video just because I wanted to get one up to you guys, as well as kind of a talky video. So, recently, my current phone, which is a Droid Razr Max, has kind of been shitting on me, or shitting on itself rather. It has decided to like just completely fail. I mean, it doesn't sound pictures anymore. It doesn't sound pictures anymore. It doesn't send pictures anymore. It drops calls occasionally. The battery life plain out sucks. I mean, it really does. Um, what else is there? The camera is just shitty. I feel like it used to have good camera quality. Perhaps that was just the time, and I was like, "Whoa, this is amazing!" And yeah. So now I mean, I used to have a top of the line phone. I mean, always. So eventually, you know how it is. You get a top of the line phone, and then 2 years down the road, like, what is that shitty thing? What? Oh, you had a Droid Razr Max? Oh, that's adorable. You're adorable. That's that's kind of what happened with me. So yeah. So I'm in the market for a new phone. Well, not me personally, but well, I guess it is me personally. I would like a new phone. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get it, but I'm almost certain it's gonna be fairly soon, and I'm excited about that. So so yeah, my choices right now are between the S5, the HTC One M8, the LG G3, and yeah, and maybe the OnePlus One. I am on Verizon, but that could be switching too, cause I don't know. I guess my dad doesn't like the Verizon now or something. I don't know. Or the OnePlus One. The OnePlus One is obviously the clear winner, but I don't want to count my chickens on that. Count them before they hatch, because I know that if we do stay on Verizon, that we can't get the OnePlus One because that is like AT&T and certain bands and whatnot. So yeah, I guess my three options are the S5, the M8, and the G3. So yeah, I mean, the S5 is water resistant, dust resistant, all that fun stuff, which is good because I know I don't drop my phone that much, but I do occasionally go to the desert, you know, to shoot, you know, ride dirt bikes, that kind of stuff. And I know maybe I like taking it out in the rain, so I wouldn't have to really worry about that as much. So that's good. I mean, the screen sizes on all these devices, they're at least 5 inches. Let's see. The M8 is 5 inches, I believe. Yeah. And then the S5 is 5.1 inches. LG G3 is 5.5 inches. I do like the idea of a 5.5-inch display. And that may seem extremely big, and I can assure you it is big, but it's not as big simply because the bezels are so thin. And the thing that I would be doing with this phone is I probably wouldn't be rocking something like an OtterBox because one, those are ugly. Two, they make cases that protect them just as good and don't look as ugly. And yeah, and I'm pretty careful with my phones too. Like my Droid Razr Max, I have a case on it now, but I remember for like the first year I didn't have a case. All I had was a screen protector. I never dropped the phone. I mean, perhaps that's just lucky, and you should always keep a case on it anyways. But yeah, I just tend to like thin, you know, color producing phone cases, you know, nothing too big like OtterBoxes. I think people that get OtterBoxes, one, pay too much for them, and two, just make their beautiful phone look ugly. So yeah, that's that. The G3 does have a 1440 by 2560 pixel count, which is amazing, and 538 PPI. That's amazing. I'm really looking forward to that. But a lot of people say that it has screen sharpening issues, and that that extra real estate almost doesn't matter. You know, the camera is only 13 megapixels on the G3, while on the M8, I believe, hold on, it is, huh, it has dual 4 megapixel cameras, so it doesn't do 4K, which is something I would like. I would like a phone that does 4K, but the G3 does do 4K as well as the S5. The S5 has a slightly better camera just because of the aperture size and the camera sensor, but you know, what can you do? And yeah, but the S5 only has 2 gigs of RAM and the G3 has 3. So Specs wise, they're pretty much in the same ballpark. I think anything you get, you're gonna be pretty much happy with at this point. It's one of those things where someone else said this too. I forgot who it was. But whatever phone you end up going for out of these few phones it's gonna be the nitty gritty features. So whether you want the dual autofocus, so you can like blur the background, you know. It's essentially like having your aperture like at every single level, and it just takes a bunch of pictures of it and then blends them together. If that makes any sense for you guys that are camera nerds. But the G3 specs wise is killing it. S5 obviously for ruggedness, which the S5 looks beautiful. I will admit it. It does have a heart rate monitor, and it still has the side buttons. People say that the back buttons you eventually get used to, and I can understand where that comes into play, but I mean, I'm just fine with it. I'm perfectly fine. The S5, I wish they wouldn't have done that dimpled back, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty good. You know, it also has a fingerprint sensor, which I'm not too keen on, but it'd be fun to play around with it. You know, what color I'm either leaning towards the G3 or the S5, but I think the thing that's gonna make me go for the S5 is sorry, not the S5, the M8 is because it's a little bit smaller. I want a big phone, but I don't want something that big. You know, it has good speakers. It has that dual autofocus. I can always replace the launcher. So I don't know. I think it might also come down to whatever they have in the store. Because quite honestly, if I could have all three of these phones, I would. They're all fantastic phones. I mean, even the people that are reviewing these things say if I had to choose right now, I couldn't. You know, and the good thing for them is they don't have to choose because they have all three of the phones. You know, if they want to use a certain one at a certain time, they just pick it up and go. I think I'll be going for either the M8, the G3, or the S5. Honestly, I still don't know what I'm going for. You know, even though I kind of justified a little bit of it to myself in this commentary, it's just it's one of those things. You know. I don't know. I'm having a hard time deciding. The S5 it looks a little bit bulkier. I like it when I love the S4. My sister has the S4, and the S4 is amazing. It's probably I like it a little bit better than the S5, quite honestly. The specs, it still has 2 gigs of RAM. I think it has a 4.9-inch display. Don't quote me on that or 5. I'm not positive on that. And I also don't believe that the S4 does 4K video, so that's that. If the S4 did 4K, I would go S4 just because it looks a little bit better. Specs are essentially the same, and yeah, yeah. Once again, I still don't even know what phone I'm gonna be going for. The M8 just looks so superb, but the G3, you know, it's huge. I don't know, you know. S5 has more features. M8 has a few more camera features that I do like. But the S5 has the better camera. I mean, there's ups and downs to everything, and I can't just. Apple, of course, is out of the question because, you know, I mean, it's Apple. You know, Apple's fine. I guess there's a lot of followers that choose Apple just because it's the name brand, and yeah, but truth be told, Android is the superior operating system, and whoever wants to get mad at me, go ahead. But let's face it, it's not a thing. Another option is the Google Nexus 5. It's great and all, but it doesn't do 4K, and it doesn't even do 1080p at 60 FPS. It only does it at 30. So yeah, it does have 2 gigs of RAM and all that, but yeah, the battery's not there. So I'm thinking I'll either be going with the G3 or the S5. I've kind of done some things in my head just while talking to you guys. I'm thinking the G3 or the S5. Whichever one I get, I will definitely let you guys know. And yeah. I know this has been a long commentary, and this is probably like it went on way longer than it should have. So yeah. Other than that, guys, I'll see y'all later. Please like if you liked it. Please dislike if you disliked it. And tell me why in the comment section below. As always, it helps me. It helps you. It doesn't really help you. It doesn't help you. Anyways, guys, I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace out.